Hello and welcome to 21st Century Learning, exploring the intersection of education and technology. This is episode number 1602, and you're listening to the EdTech Talk channel of the World Bridges Network. Today is January 27th, 2016. I'm Alex Ragone.
I'm Arvind Grover.
All right. Here we go, into 2016.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I just have to share something, guys, because I'm really excited. I had gone to Educon the first year, way back when in SLA's first year, and I'm super excited to be going back and presenting and participating this weekend. So I'm psyched to.
What are you presenting?
I'm presenting. We're facilitating a goal setting workshop. Mark Silverberg, who's the assistant head at LREI, Little Red Schoolhouse, and Elizabeth Irwin High School, and I are. So it's more of it's a protocol that we're going to do with the group in terms of aligning values and mission with goals in schools. And we've got a bunch of people signed up to go. I'm psyched. It's going to be good.
Nice. I haven't been to Educon in years. I always wanted to go, and there's so many professional commitments, only so many you can make in one given year, and I'm like longing to get to Educon.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's funny because I was there, and I only went for one day that first year, and I remember I dragged our upper school head of school, upper school principal, and she was like, I can't even believe this place. Her mind was blown, and I was just like in awe of all these like A-lister, edu bloggers, and we've grown up a lot since then.
Yeah. I can't remember if I was there year one or year two, but it was early.
Yeah. It's wild. I can't wait to see Chris. They're opening a middle school. Did you know that? In the fall, they're opening an SLA middle school.
We probably need to get Chris back on. It's been a lot of years.
It would be fabulous. I've emailed with him a few times over the years, but
yeah, because he was on show 5.
Yeah, something like that.
It was like the 5th show because that was like the first one I caught of it.
It was really early on. He was in his planning year when we had him on.
Yeah, I had gone out to visit them.
Right. It's wild.
Well, I mean, it's no different than seeing on the nicest list. Here we go to the blast of the past to see if someone had any L experience.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah, maybe 7 years ago.
Elg is still alive, I guess.
I can't. Yeah. Well, it's open source, so somebody's working on it, right?
No.
Or maybe not.
Well, Alex, Vinnie and I were thinking that in the new year, it would be great to talk a little bit about what each of us are reading or hoping to read or have just read for a few minutes as we kind of kick off the new part of the school year anyway.
Nice. That's good. What are you reading, Arvind?
What am I reading? I am reading a mix of personal and professional. I'm often like immersed in nonfiction, which I happen to be at this moment. So even though I freaking love fiction, but I get really drawn into the world of nonfiction. So a couple books that I'm reading kind of concurrently. One is a little more personal nonfiction. I'm reading Tony Robbins' massive tome called Money, Master the Game, The 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom, which sounds kind of funny, and it is literally massive. It's like 500 pages. And in it, he interviews like many billionaires about how they got where they got, and many people who kind of know how financial systems work. So it's almost like a tell-all of what's happening behind a world that seems mysterious to me. Mm-hmm. And I've had a hard time putting it down. Like I can't stop reading it. It's really compelling for me.
That's good.
That's one.
What's compelling about it?
One thing I love about it is he basically, I personally have a lot of what I would call invisible scripts around money and investing. Like I'll say things like, there's no way I can ever know enough on what to invest in, so you just kind of wash your hands of it, and and that's just me putting a mental block in my own way, and he helps me deconstruct some of my own invisible scripts around money and just taking care of your money, however little you have or however much you have. Not targeted at people with all kinds of cash flow. It's basically targeted at anyone who has to deal with money at all, which is I'm guessing all of us.
No doubt. How about you, Vinnie? What's it? Oh, do you have another one
I was
to
gonna
share?
say that's one, and I'll pass the baton, and we'll keep going. We'll do some rounds.
Awesome.
I've got 3 that I'm reading concurrently, and unfortunately, I'm also in the realm of nonfiction. Haven't dealt with fiction in a long time. So the first one I want to talk about is one called Top Dog, The Science of Winning and Losing, by Bronson and Alyssa Merryman. And what a former athletic director who reads very interesting books was the one who kind of turned me on to this one. And it talks about how we need to compete in order to fulfill ourselves, and what the crucial ingredients of that competition and how that works. And so what's good competition versus bad competition, and attitudes around that. Now, there's a lot of really interesting ties and applications into the classroom.
I'm a big fan of Bronson. Any one anecdote stand out, Vinnie?
This is the one that I've just started of the 3. So it's really around the concept of attitudes going in and being a good competitor, and being that good competitor to help drive and better oneself in that particular arena. So. Yeah.
All right, looking forward to hearing more about that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I am reading a fiction book right now. I've been reading. We just finished book 3 of Harry Potter, and we're now on to book 4 with my 10-year-old. So that's been just so lovely. We'll sit around for a half an hour, 40 minutes, and just dig in. She'll read a few pages, and I'll read a few pages, and then when we finish, we get to watch the movies, which we critique now based on the fact that they're not as good as the books. So that's been a lot of fun. And then I'm reading. I bought a bunch of the books that we talked about in December, and then I looked at. I had also seen Brene Brown's new book, which is Rising Strong, right? And I started reading that over break, and I am that's the one I can't put down right now, because she's got this really amazing, just in the first couple chapters, she talks about the day 2 being the hardest part, the middle part. So when you make a change, you decide to make a change, and the place that's the hardest is in the middle. And it's been that's been a lot of it's been really, as a learner and as a human and as a compassionate person who watches people go through challenging situations every day, and as part of them myself, it gives you a little bit of grace to take that time in the middle and know that it's going to be okay to struggle through where you are. So it's been good.
I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, but Brene Brown's interview with Tim Ferriss on his podcast is a long one, but excellent. Listen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vinnie, couldn't hear you.
I said native Houstonian. Brene Brown.
Houstonian.
Yes.
I learned a fact and a new word in the same sentence.
Yeah. Our competitor school. So, I'll go next. The next book I'm going to talk about is really what's been driving a lot of my podcast has been driving a lot of my reading list. There's a really wonderful new podcast called Gayle Allen. She does one called Smooth Minds. And, every week she's got someone who is just outstanding and really stretches thinking in a lot of different ways. And so The other book that I've just started is one that was last week's episode, I believe. It's called The Silo Effect, the Peril of Breaking Down, Peril of Expertise in the Breaking Down of Barriers. And I'm really interested in with the conversation that she had with the author about how this can help better inform us to break down some of the barriers that stand within our institutions and stuff. We unfortunately do have a number of silos.
All right. Thanks for the 2-for-1, a book and a podcast.
Oh, the podcast is unbelievable.
I've been seeing her post on LinkedIn, and I'm going to go and grab some of those.
30 minutes, posted on Sunday night, so it's ready for your Monday commute.
Sweet.
I really appreciate a 30-minute podcast. That's like very digestible.
I've been all over talking about podcasts. Like I can't stop listening to Serial on NPR. Like
I haven't started it.
Oh my God, it's so. As soon as I see it hit, I go for it. And then
it's now too.
It's amazing, and they're focusing on Bo Bergdahl this season, and it's just great. The storytelling is so amazing. And then I just can't say enough about all of the new podcasts like Reply All and all the Gimlet Media podcasts. If you haven't checked out what Alex Bloomberg and his team are doing at Gimlet Media, it is Startup was fabulous. They just did a mini season to check back in on where the company is going. So they're podcasting about their startup companies. So it's just so much fun to listen to and kind of take in. Highly recommended.
Nice. I'll throw the next book out there, which is Douglas Stone and Sheila Heen's Thanks for the Feedback, The Science and Art of Receiving Feedback Well. And such a nice book. They break down why the word feedback freaks people out generally when they hear that F word, if you will. They get really concerned about it, and they make the argument that that's because it's confusing what you're talking about. People don't know what you mean by the word feedback. 3 different phases that might be feedback are, they call it achievement, coaching. Sorry, not achievement. Sorry, I'm losing my A word here. Coaching is one type of feedback, evaluation is one type of feedback, and affirmation is the third type. And they often get blended together, and sometimes you're giving coaching, but the person is looking for affirmation, or perhaps the person's looking for coaching and you're giving evaluation, and so really clarifying what we're talking about is important.
Yeah.
But they said the most important thing for an organization is to actually create not excellent people who give feedback, but excellent people who want to receive feedback. And so that's how organizations get better, when people are feedback seeking, not feedback giving necessarily. And so as an administrator, that's really striking me. How do I get people to want feedback and to seek it out? Anyway, definitely worth a read.
That's great.
All right, we got time for one more book before we hit our clock.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm going to jump in with one which is more of the fiction title, which is The Idealist, about Aaron Swartz by Justin Peters.
Oh yeah.
And because I taught all 3 of the brothers, Aaron and his 2 younger brothers, of the family. So it's just a very fascinating read that came out a couple of weeks ago. So that's the one that I've been flipping.
Yeah, On the Media did a great interview with the author a couple weeks ago, and it broke the mold. It was like a 25-minute interview, really powerful. Such a sad story.
Yeah, and you got to slog through the first 100 pages or so, but they talk about the birth of copyright and the free and open movement and open for it.
Yeah. Oi. All right, guys. Well, it's good to get back. We got to get some authors on. We got to start.
We have.
So we have 2 shows now for the year, and we'll be back in the next few weeks. We'll talk a little bit. Sorry about the noise in the background. It's obviously, our upper schoolers are going to lunch right now, so Thanks, everyone, for listening to 21st Century Learning, exploring the intersection of education and technology for January 27th, 2016. I'm Alex Ragone. If you have questions or comments, please find us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media you're on, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.
All right, gentlemen, I got to bug out.